Why are you laughing at me? I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at what's going on in my head because she did that. And I was like, oh, baby girl learned about triangles. And I thought she did that with her hands.
Illuminati confirmed.
Illuminati. So baby girl learned how to make triangles with her hands at school. And oh,
Cool story, bro. Hello and welcome. We are the Ladies of Strange. I'm Ashley.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Rebecca.
Thank you for joining us each week as we discuss the history, mystery, and theory
Of all things questionable, odd, and snarky.
Ooh. I feel called out.
I'm questionable, I suppose. I'm just odd. Well, that narrows it down. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Hello, my odd and snarky friends.
Hello, beautiful.
How are you? How are me? I'm not so good. How are you guys?
I am so good. I have missed you terribly.
Me?
Yes. I see her all the time. I just miss you.
Okay. Sounds like a personal problem because I don't miss me. Hi, guys.
Hi.
We are here.
We are.
Merry Christmas, by the way.
Almost. We're getting there.
It's almost Christmas time. If you celebrate Christmas, if not, I don't know when Hanukkah is, or I would tell you Merry Hanukkah too.
When does winter solstice start?
Merry Christmas,
21st.
Hanukkah, everyone.
We are getting there. We're like all up in the holiday business.
All up in your holidays.
Oh, yeah.
Ho, ho,
With
ho. Your holly
hollandaise.
jolly ear holes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Holly jolly. Nope.
Yep.
I lost it.
Anyway.
Shall we do some shout outs?
Yes. All right, you guys.
So we are going to start shouting out our strange patroni, i.e. our lovely friends that donate to our Patreon, which you are welcome to do at the patreon.com.
That won't get you where you need to be, but
close, but not quite. Patreon.com/Ladies of Strange or the Ladies of Strange.
The Ladies of Strange. There's a link in the show notes.
The three, the only. The Ladies of Strange.
the only Ladies of Strange. Oh.
The only strange.
So, no particular order, but let's
It's alphabetical.
do Why did it get hot in here now? There was just a
It's all that saucy talk y'all do. Saucy talk.
Saucy.
Stay tuned for our second show, Saucy Talk. Talk about barbecue sauce.
I'm single with
and ranch. And this is why you guys donate to us every month. Thanks, friend. Who wants to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
So, big, gigantic shout out to our lovely patron, Strange Patroni, Bambi. Thank you. We love you.
Hey, CK. Love you and thank you so much.
Cookie Monster, Kenneth, we love you. Thank you for your donation.
Hey, Kylie. Thank you so... That sounds creepy. Sorry. Thank you.
Hey, Kylie. You want some candy?
Thanks so much for being a patron. If you stop, I understand.
Leah, thank you so much, Dollface. We appreciate you.
Wow, we planned this a little too well.
Oh, Senor Matthew Gaddy. Thank you so much for your monthly donations. I love you.
Hey, Nick. Thanks.
Oh, that's your brother.
Yep.
Just short and sweet. Oh, hi, Ruck. Thanks, I guess.
Oh,
I just kidding, Ruck. You are so supportive outside of Patreon and on Patreon, and it is greatly appreciated.
Steph, you're the bee's knees, and we really, really appreciate you, boo.
Yeah, girl. Oh, and BTW, that purple hair is killing it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Mom and Dad.
Oh, this was perfect.
Thanks for not disowning me.
Appreciate you.
Also, thanks for listening when I say it's safe for y'all to listen.
Yes, thank you. We love you.
So those are our current patroni. If you would like to be a patroni and get a shout out on our next episode.
And a lot of really cool stuff.
We just drafted a super amazing letter to our newest patroni
Our strange patroni.
today, and it's a masterpiece. It's a work of art.
Is. If you want some ye olden language, be a patron. We'll get you some.
Ye olden language. Tiffany's favorite type of language.
Absolutely.
So general, broad. Thank you guys so much. We love you. And we do this for you. You're welcome.
Oh, man.
So,
All right, we have one more piece of business to take care of before we roll into the story.
Holy cannolis. What a business day.
Well, we got to remind everyone that
Oh, yeah.
we have merch.
we have
Obviously,
merch.
y'all know about this, but quick reminder, if you want that OG Ladies of Strange logo, it's going away December 31st.
So you got like, what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So,
Because I'm bad with dates, I'm going to pull up a calendar just to make sure this
So
goes
if
out on the
you-
19th. Oh, less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, if you want something of your own with the OG Dreamcatcher Ladies of Strange logo, get on it. And hint, hint, patrons get 10% off merch.
ooh.
FYI.
Another reason to be a strange Patroni.
Yep.
Yep. All right. And then one last final plug before we roll into our wonderful topic.
This was not on the agenda.
No.
No, it's fine. I'm not throwing things way off, I promise. We have a contest going on still. So, get us to 100 reviews and you can enter for a chance to win some really cool swag.
Swag.
And
Swag.
And a really cool ye olden language letter.
Yes. We might even like actually write it on a letter,
Oh,
like pen, paper.
As opposed unto the ethereal abyss, like we write our other letters on.
Oh, we could do it like, you know, when you used to have to like do the old timey letters and you would like burn the edges and dip it in tea. You're going to get a real fancy letter that might attract bugs. So you'll just have to frame it, you know, no big deal.
So what are we learning about today?
All right. So this story comes highly requested by our friend Napoleon. Yes, the Napoleon. We real tight.
I did not know you were that close. I, for some reason, thought we were in different like centuries, but I could have been wrong. I'm rewriting history, so
I communicate with spirits. You know this.
I do know that.
That's how you get your subjects.
They just come to me.
Ouija.com.
Just like Sarah Winchester.
Ouija.com?
Like
Is that
Google.
is that a page?
Probably. I don't know.
I'm not typing it into my search engine.
Oh, because that's what would throw it off. A little disclaimer. Be gentle with me with some of these pronunciations, please. Listeners, friends, co-hosts. I tried.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about a African and Caribbean folklore.
Oh, that's exciting.
So be gentle.
I will be gentle.
All right, so this is the story of Anansi, who is an Akan folktale character. And Akan is what is currently now Ghana,
Okay.
like that area, which is the former Gold Coast
Oh, I didn't know that.
when the stories originated.
All right.
His name comes from the word in the Akan language for spider.
Oh, I
Nope.
don't know how I'm going to feel about this.
Suddenly not on board.
That second sentence just threw everybody off. He is often known to take the form of a spider and is considered to be the god of the stories.
Oh. Okay. It's because he has 8 arms. He can hold 8 different books. Sit on his little butt and hold 8 different books.
His little spider butt. He is known for taking on the role of trickster, the joke maker, but also the teacher. He's become one of the most important characters of West African, African American, and Caribbean folklore. His origins are from the Ashanti people of Ghana, who brought the tradition to the Caribbean with them, where they really took off and they blossomed. Other stories can be told through West Africa and areas in the Caribbean, such as Jamaica. He is depicted in many different ways with names from Anansi, Kwaku Anansi, and Anansi. His current forms are Kopa Nansi, Nanzi, just so we differentiate
okay,
here.
Gotcha.
Or just Nancy, which has also been turned into Nancy, Aunt Nancy, or Sis Nancy.
Okay.
S-I-S.
Interesting.
He is often depicted again as an animal, a spider. He does have many representations where he's not only acting as a man, but appears as one as well. So he can appear as either a man or a Spider-Man. Not Peter Parker.
Oh, okay. Well, before
Man spider.
before you said that, I was picturing the giant spider from
Aragog?
Thank you, Harry Potter. So
Not quite that spider-esque.
got it.
He is often shown as a spider with a human face or a human with just like spider-like features. So really long, gangly, jointed arms. There's some weird looking pictures.
So
out
my
there.
ex-boyfriend's.
Oh, there was a what's that show called? It's on Netflix. It's popular. It's like Twilight Zone, but new age. But they had an episode where this guy was stuck in a haunted house.
Yeah, I came
And,
across
like,
that in my research that he appeared on a newer show.
Yeah.
Or a character was based off
Black
of him.
Mirror.
Yes, I haven't watched it.
It
Oh.
was scary. I didn't like it.
Poor Rebecca.
So I would love it. Anansi is the child of his godly manifestation of his mother, who is known as the earth, and his father, who is known as the sky. So he is considered to be a true representation of all things on heaven and earth.
So me.
Yes, darling, yes. He also has family in several of the tales, including his long-suffering wife, his firstborn son, his big-headed son, his son with a spindly neck and spindly legs, a pot-bellied son, and his beautiful daughter.
Oh, damn. Hot damn. He's got the whole gambit there.
So the boy's not so lucky, but his daughter, she's got it. He can be summoned by those with a gift for stories, either to listen to a well-told tale or to help someone who is talented but is just starting on the path of becoming a master storyteller. He's always playing tricks, telling stories, or causing some other form of mischief. His interactions with the world have been very important because he brings both stories and wisdom.
like us.
Yeah.
This guy
Just
seems...
call us lady spiders.
Oh, please not.
Please don't.
But I really like this guy so far.
I couldn't find really anything negative. He's
Perfect.
He's a little self-centered, but it's fine. Aren't we all?
Don't look at me, Rebecca. I was back on Ashley.
His stories were part of an exclusively oral tradition, and Anansi himself was seen as synonyms with skill and wisdom in speech. Stories of Anansi have become such a prominent and familiar part of Ashanti oral culture that they eventually encompassed many kinds of fables. Evidence in the work by scholar Peggy Appiah, who said, quote, "So many know boo-ba-da-boo."
Oh,
Bop-a-da-bop.
I know Boopity Boo really well.
Who put the bop in the bop?
Bop shabop shabop. Who put the ram and the ram-a-lim ding dong?
That was a direct quote from Tiffany. Evident by the work of scholar Peggy Appiah, who said, quote, "So well known is he that he has given his name to the whole rich tradition of tales on which so many of Ghanaian children are brought up on, Anansiism or spider tales."
Oh.
In similar fashion, oral tradition is what introduced Anansi tales to the rest of the world, especially the Caribbean, via the people that were enslaved during the Atlantic slave trade.
This is a really opportune time to ask if anyone else got DuckTales in their head when you said spider tails.
Every day they're out there making spider tails. Woo! Ah! Making webs, they're right behind you. They're gonna drop down and bite you.
Nope. Nope. Don't like, nope.
No, but he seems so wonderful. He wouldn't bite you. He's more like a Charlotte from Charlotte's Web.
We got it.
Okay, just making
Because
sure.
he's a storyteller.
He is. And he's
I wonder if there's a
gentle.
correlation there.
Ooh.
So as a result of being carried on from the people that were enslaved during the Atlantic slave trade, the importance of Anansi socially did not diminish when slaves were brought to the New World. Instead, he was often celebrated as a symbol of slave resistance and survival because he is able to turn the tables on his powerful oppressors by using his cunning and trickery, a model of behavior utilized by the slaves to gain the upper hand.
Oh.
Anansi is known to have played a role in inspiring strategies of resistance. The tales enabled enslaved Africans to establish a sense of continuity with their African past and offered them the means to transform and assert their identity within the boundaries of captivity. The Jamaican version of these stories are some of the most well preserved because Jamaica had the largest concentration of enslaved Ashantis in the Americas.
Oh, wow. Fascinating.
So that's just a little background.
Okay.
And there are hundreds of stories that involve Ashanti and different things and what he helped create and how he changed things and different fables. But this, I'm going to tell you guys the story of how he got stories to the world.
Oh, please do. I'm excited.
Yes. Anansi looked around, enjoying the world, but seeing that it was a rather boring place. He realized that the people had no stories to tell because his father, this is where the pronunciation, Niame, was hoarding them in a box in the sky. Anansi set about a plan to take them from his father. He rose into the sky on a silken thread that he spun and approached Niame to ask if he could give them to the people so they could enjoy the stories and learn from their wisdom. His father was impressed that Anansi had even found a way to approach him, so even though he did not want to release the stories, he assigned Anansi with what he thought was an impossible task. Niame told his son that if he could bring 4 creatures to him, he would trade Anansi the stories for them. The creatures were the most fearsome in creation. Onini, a huge python, a sabo, a hungry leopard, the deadly Moboro hornets, and the invisible fairy Momotia, who is famous for her pride, greed, and quick temper.
You got it, girl.
Yes, I think.
Perfection.
Again, if these are awful, if I'm butchering them, don't be mad at me. Trike. As Anansi left, declaring that he would do these tasks, Niame laughed to himself, thinking that each was impossible, but all 4 combined would be insurmountable. Anansi himself wondered how he could do this, but he was determined. Soon he realized that in order to beat the best traits of the 4 creatures, he would have to use his best trait, his trickery.
Ooh. Wait, trickery. He's so good.
But he was known as being a trickster and a troublemaker.
Oh, I forgot about that part. I was just making him up in my head as the person I wanted him to be. Tricksters aren't bad.
A trickery man spider.
As soon as Tiffany said, "Oh, like me," just ignored
all the bad
everything.
traits. Just
I mean, trickery is not bad if you use it properly.
Ice cream.
that was just deception.
That was
not trickery. That was pure deception.
It's fine. We're moving on.
So he devised plans to defeat each one of them and then put them into motion. First, he sat outside of Anani's lair and pretended to argue with himself.
Which one is Anani?
That's the python, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The huge python. First he would say, "It's not," and then he would follow with, "Is so." Back and forth, and soon the python's curiosity was, I'm just going to say, piqued.
Oh no, tell me what it was. Come on.
Because I didn't even put the 2 and 2 together until you made the inappropriate python.
Come on.
Soon the python's curiosity was aroused. and he asked Anansi what he was doing. Anansi told him that his wife said the stick he was holding was longer than the snake, while he thought the snake was longer. Isn't that usually the case? God, this story is bad. Anani said there was only one way to sort it out. He would stretch himself out next to the stick. Anansi suggested that since it was difficult for the snake to stretch his curves to the full length of the stick, they should tie him to it, or he might not be longer.
Oh, smart man.
Trickery afoot. Anani agreed, and that is how his vanity allowed Anansi to capture him for Niame.
I would have fallen for it.
Tiffany's like, yeah, tie me to the stick. We need to prove your wife wrong.
Told you I was taller.
Yeah.
See, that's toxic masculinity. True. Like, we're going to prove her wrong. I am totally bigger than that stick, says the python.
No. Okay, baby snake, go back to your home.
Baby snake. Next was Asebo, whose strength was legendary. Anansi dug a deep pit. The next morning, he found Asobo trapped in it. Offering to help, he spun a rope from his webs, daring Asobo to use his strength to get out of the pit. When Asobo began climbing, he became entangled in the web. The more he struggled to get higher, the more tangled he got. Finally, he could not move, and this is how Anansi used Asobo's own strength to capture him.
And which one was Asobo?
Asobo was the hungry leopard.
Okay. All right. You're halfway there, homie.
Halfway around the world. Are you talking about Anansi as your homie? Oh, I thought you were talking about me, but it's fine.
Oh, I mean, looking at your sheets of paper, you're a little more than halfway there. Oh, wait, no, just kidding. You had more than I thought.
Are you done judging me?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Can
Keep
I
going.
carry on?
Nah, sure. Why not? I've got nothing better to do.
I hate you. For the next creature, Anansi cut a small hole in a gourd and made a plug for the hole. He then gathered water on a huge leaf. He poured half over his head and half on the hornet's nest, ruining it. When the Momoboro hornets angrily flew out, Anansi exclaimed that the rain had come early, but that the hornets could hide in the gourd. The first flew in and the rest followed closely. And this is how Anansi used the hive mind that gave the hornets strength and numbers against them. Finally, he had to trap the crafty fairy Momotia.
Ooh, fairies are tricksters themselves.
Before we dive into him capturing Momotia.
Spoiler.
Where did you think this was going?
I'm just saying. Just
trying
throwing it
to
out there.
capture Momotia. Would
There
you
we
like
go.
to take a quick drink break so Tiffany can lose some of the sass tonight?
Yes, please.
I wish we had known we were talking about fairies. I would have gotten some absinthe.
Ooh. I can totally cover fairies again.
I mean,
or just drink the absinthe.
absence.
Abstinence.
Time for a drink break.
Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Taylor Smurl,
And I'm Liz June.
and we host a podcast called Neats. It's a weekly boozecast.
It's a history lesson with a twist.
Join us every week. We'll bring you
Histories, mysteries, tall tales, and anecdotes.
from spirits you know.
And some you don't. Available wherever you listen to podcasts. And she's back. She's practicing her bird calls.
I'm back, Jack.
You do look like a bird of paradise in that pink fuzzy sweater.
Look, this is my favorite sweater because it pisses people off.
Why?
Because they say I look like Animal from the Muppets.
It's
Animal's
obnoxiously
red. No, Animal's
pink.
pink. I lied to you. I just bold-faced lied to you, and I'm sorry, best friend. That's not how best friends treat each other.
That's okay. Rebecca said Animal was red earlier today, too. So you two are syncing up.
How does it feel to be right now?
Oh.
Sorry.
Wow.
Oh, because I'm becoming one. I got it. We're obviously not that in sync.
Nope.
Shall we find out how Anansi would try to trap Momotia?
Yes, ma'am.
Giant piece of fly paper.
There's a bug on the ceiling.
It's a ladybug.
It's fine.
It's a ladybug. She's fine.
Okay. Then take your eyes off of her if she's
Oh, I didn't get more drink on the drink.
Anansi knew that his final task would be the most difficult, but he also knew of her weakness for yam paste.
Wait, what?
So like sweet potatoes.
Don't you have a thing for yam paste?
I actually am not a fan of sweet potatoes.
But wait,
It's the only casserole that comes with marshmallows.
And cornflakes, if you
Well-
do it right.
Cornflakes.
Yeah, the way my mom makes it has cornflakes.
but you don't like it. So what do you know about it being right or wrong?
It's the way my mom does it, so it's right. Back off.
Okay, fair, fine. Okay, great. So he knew she liked yam paste.
All right.
Yeah. So Anansi crafted a gum baby,
Whoa.
This sounds familiar.
attached a web line to its head, and set a bowl of yam paste that it says Ano had made into his lap. I did not research who Ano was. I apologize. Soon, Momotia came along and saw the yam paste. She could not resist, so she asked the gum baby for permission to have some. Life lesson
that's
there.
really sweet.
You always ask permission and say goodbye.
Yes.
Anansi pulled the web, making the baby's head say yes.
Creepy, but okay.
Momotia dug in, eating all of the paste. When she was finished, she thanked the gum baby.
I don't want her to get trapped.
Now Anansi...
Where do you think this was going?
But she's so nice. I didn't want her to be nice.
She's a fairy. Of course she's nice.
Fairies are tricksters and usually a-holes.
Rude. I
Not
hope you
rude.
get haunted by a fairy. Now Anansi did not pull the whip. Momotia was annoyed and thanked the gum baby again, who remained silent.
Okay, this one sounds like Tiffany.
Yeah.
I said thank you. This caused Momotia to become angry, so she slapped the gum baby. Bitch, show me some respect.
I said thank you for holding that door open. Acknowledge me or I'm going to shut it in your face.
Her hand became entangled in the gum, so she attacked with her other arm, which also became entangled.
That does sound
I
like
didn't
me.
say she was a smart fairy. I said she was a polite fairy. Oh, Tiffany. As her rage grew, she attacked with her legs until finally she was fully trapped. Anansi had used Momotia's pride and her anger against her. Taking his final creature to his father, Nyame announced that Anansi had successfully completed the task that had been set for him and presented Anansi with the box containing all the stories of the world. There are many stories of Anansi because of his global influence, but the other story that matters the most is that of how he also brought wisdom to the world, even if it was only by accident.
Oh.
The first thing that should be noted is that it is possible that wisdom and stories are one and the same in this case. This is because the stories were given to Anansi by Niame were often teaching tools as well as entertainment. So Anansi was troubled. He had a pot containing all of the wisdom of the world, and every day Anansi would look into the pot and learn something new. He wanted to keep it safe and for himself, even though his father, Niame, had instructed him to share it. So he began to look for a hiding place. His son, Nitikuma...
Do we know which son this is?
Tikuma.
Lanky or pot-bellied or...
I think it's his firstborn. Yes. His firstborn son, Niktuma, was very curious, and when he saw his father sulking about, he decided to follow him. Anansi looked far and wide for the perfect hiding spot. Finally, he came upon a very tall tree and decided that he would tie the pot to the top where no one but him would know where to find it. He fashioned a long rope of vines and began to climb it while holding the pot, which, you're a spider. You used a web to fly into heaven to talk to your dad? Did you need the vines, really?
I mean, he wasn't holding a pot when he climbed to heaven.
True. That would have made things difficult.
It's not like he has 8 arms or anything.
Thank you.
Look.
I found a loophole, a plot, not a loophole.
A plot hole.
Plot hole.
A plutie.
A plutie. I found a plutie in your story from long ago that's been transferred from oral depictions for hundreds of years, but it's fine. No matter how hard he tried, the pot made it impossible for him to climb very high. He kept falling, endangering the pot each time. Finally, his son could not keep silent. He stepped out and said, "Father, why do you not use some of your vines to tie the pot to your back? That way you can carry it up without bumping your belly or requiring your grasp." Anansi did this and was able to quickly climb to the top. But as he sat there contemplating what his son had said, he realized that even with the pot of wisdom, his son had given him wise advice that he had not thought of himself. This taught him that wisdom is best when it's shared. He threw the pot from the top of the tree, and when it struck the ground and shattered, the wisdom was dispersed in the water and the winds to anyone that wanted a little bit of it. This is why everyone has some wisdom, but nobody has all.
Other than Rebecca.
Okay.
2-pack.
Fair. Okay, never mind. No, okay, so I didn't want to like this story because he was being selfish and he's supposed to be a good guy, but I actually think it adds a little charm to him.
It's just like all the old stories that we were told that always had the moral at the end of it.
Yeah, but I wanted him to be a good guy through and through, and then he was being selfish, but
hey, not everyone can be 100% good 100% of the time.
Other than me.
Because that's bullshit. To both. Guess you're included in that.
I disagree, but still, that's I like that. It's relatable and charming.
Right? It's like they knew how to tell stories back then.
It's like he's the god of storytelling or something. What? Mind blown.
As the king of stories, Anansi is the patron of both storytellers and those who live by their wits. Like many primarily Caribbean deities, he can be summoned with an offering of treats, smokes, or liquor.
So like us.
Basically. 100%.
I was waiting for somebody to say it.
Don't try and summon me without my heads up, guys. I have a lot to do. I need to pencil you in.
Put out mint Milanos and I will be there. I don't care what's going on.
Oh, I'm being paged.
But we're going to get pictures of like a pentagram on the floor and like mint Milanos in the center.
And I'll be having you pull the IP address. So
and then y'all are going to be exercising her real quick. I can promise. After the cookies are gone, she won't be as fun.
Fair.
But if you can't spin a good story to keep him interested, don't expect him to stick around for very long because he will not tolerate boredom. So, Tiffany.
Oh, I mean, I want to be offended, but I can't.
You're like, I'm bored now. I'm going home.
Yeah. Oh, fascinating.
So, that was a brief dive into Spider Anansi.
I really like Spider Anansi.
Tiffany likes Man Spider.
I do. How about you, Rebecca?
He's cool.
He's right.
I feel like Man Spider needs to become part of my life. I have been, because we do the month of Strange and we like dive into things that are a little like strange. I've been thinking about putting up an altar just to like see, because it goes along with a lot of the stuff we've been doing. And, you know, I can maybe throw in some stuff for Anansi.
Yeah, but your altar is going to be like picture of AJ, a box of half-eaten Milano cookies, eventually an empty box of Milano cookies.
Eventually, by the time I'm done burning a candle.
Milano cookies don't come in boxes, they come in bags.
Second of all,
I've
yes,
been,
AJ is there.
thinking the exact same thing. I have one of the tall, skinny dressers, and I've been thinking about setting up an altar on the top of my dresser. But then, like, cat would jump up there and, like, catch my room on fire. And
Fair.
I don't have the best familiars in the world. I do. They're great. They're just not very smart. So they're very...
So like,
yeah, so they're very appropriate.
so like half of my familiars.
Fair.
Of the two?
Yeah.
Oh, you leave Capone alone, okay? He tries.
He's super sweet, but
He's a pretty boy.
he looks like he's constantly rebooting.
I will send this to you. We have to post this picture of Dobby. I got like the ultimate derp face of Dobby the other day, and it makes me so incredibly happy.
Excellent.
So we'll have to post that somewhere for you guys. Speaking of derpy familiars, but none of my familiars can be as cunning or trickstery.
Have as much trickery.
And I don't want a spider as a familiar. I'm good.
No, I don't do spiders, but I really like
But
this
you're gonna
guy.
call him to your altar.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do the man version that's like Linky and
Let's maybe look into a couple more stories before you make that decision if you want to call him into your house.
Let's do some solid research before you do anything.
when have I ever done that in my life? Why start now?
Okay, fine. Well, when you have a giant man spider in your house, don't come calling us. Because could you imagine him? Like, he had a pot last time. If he had a phone in his hands, he'd be like, oh my God, all the stories. I'm going to start a podcast.
There's zero wisdom in my phone.
The knowledge in this thing.
Right? I could start a podcast. And
Half
then
of my
he would
Google
knock us
search-
off the charts.
Half of my Google search history is just how to spell.
Oh my God,
Insert
yes.
word flares.
Dude. I start typing a word into Google and it gives me the answer, and I have it open in another tab so that I see it at the top and can finish my email.
I'm curious if you go to...
You do realize email autocorrects too. You can right click it and fix it there.
So my top 3 Google searches is what's another word for gratitude, set timer for 3 minutes, and neon versus pastel.
Ian Somerhalder, Christoph and Anna, stages of grief, cremation facts.
Okay, Google, go home. No, don't actually do it. Google Advanced Search. Can you tell I was setting up blog posts earlier?
Yeah.
So there you go. A little background into us, guys.
Yeah.
By the way, sorry to anyone who...
shoulder. Oh, fluff. Oh.
So sorry to anyone who I accidentally turned on Google for. Okay, Google, play Backstreet Boys.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I love you so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, listeners.
And on that note...
Remember, friends, my elbow hurt. That's not an elbow.
Shoulder?
Yeah.
The part of your body attached to you.
The shoulder bone's connected to the... Remember, friends, everyone has something that they find odd. Let us tell you why it's not.
If you have any questionable topics you'd like us to discuss, you can share them with us on any of our social medias. Links can be found on our website, theladiesestrange.com, or you can email them to us at theladiesestrange@gmail.com.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. And if you think we're doing a great job and want to support the show and get bonus content,
And a shout out on the show.
ooh, you can find us at at patreon.com/The Ladies of Strange. Keep it strange, lovelies.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Backstreet Boys.
Wanna be a fool for you. I'm just
Another player in the game for two.
Welcome to the Spooky Scary Show. We are two friends in two different states who discuss all things spooky, scary, and just downright strange. We read new stories every week. If you would like to suggest a topic or submit a paranormal story, email us at spookyscaryshow@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for spooky facts and updates. Hey, ya ghosties! Pinky here. Welcome to the Spooky Scary Show Christmas special. I will be your one and only host today because Dolly hates Christmas. Just kidding. Dolly is helping her sister take care of the new baby, and she has a bunch of Christmas festivities to attend, so it's just you and me this week. I'm officially on Christmas break, and Christmas is currently only a few days away, so I just wanted to let you all know that Dolly and I will be taking a few weeks off from podcasting. We will have a brand new episode for you on January 5th, so be ready. It will be our monthly haunted headlines, and a little bit later than usual, so forgive us. You girls need a break, okay? Thank you. I'm going to start things off by reading about 6 scary Christmas legends, and then I have a couple of holiday ghost stories in store for you as well, so I hope you enjoy them. Christmas isn't all jingle bells and jolly old Saint Nick. There are darker and creepier figures lurking about, and they don't come from the North Pole. Many of these scary figures hail from pre-Christian traditions and folklore and have become enveloped in Christmas over time. Where Santa is about rewarding well-behaved children, some of these entities are focused on the naughty list. If threatening your kids about Santa won't get them to behave, perhaps a story about an ogre coming to cook them in a stew will. Yikes. Of course, not all of these horrific holiday figures are evil. Some are more mischievous and benevolent, despite their more appropriate for Halloween appearances. Still, if your kid cries upon meeting Santa, maybe you don't want to tell them about the Krampus. Number 1 is Belsnickel. Bells, roughly translated as fur in German, and nickel here refers to jolly old St. Nicholas, so Belsnickel is St. Nick in furs or pelts. And this figure from German folklore does indeed dole out the occasional gifts like Santa Claus. He even carries a sack filled with candy and nuts for good children. That, however, is where the similarities end. Instead of a nice coat, Belsnickel's furs are grimy or sometimes just outright dirty. And while St. Nick will leave a lump of coal for naughty children, Belsnickel will whip them on the backs with a switch. Number 2, La Befana. Just because someone is scary looking doesn't mean they always are. La Befana may look like a hag, but this Italian witch is not a creature of Halloween. She is actually associated with the Epiphany, a post-Christmas observance that celebrates the arrival of the 3 wise men in Bethlehem. Legend has it that the Befana was asked by the wise men to join them, but she declined as she had too much work to do. Realizing her mistake, she tried to catch up to them, but she was unable to do so. Exhausted on the eve of their arrival in Bethlehem, she threw herself under a tree, and a branch from that tree became a magical broomstick that allowed her to fly, looking for the baby Jesus. Today, the Befana appears during and just before Epiphany events, giving treats and small gifts to good children, or leaving the gifts at their houses, much like Santa Claus. Number 3 on this list is Grilla. Of course, not all witches that appear at this time of year are good witches. Grilla hails from Icelandic folklore and is more interested in eating children than giving them things to eat. Come Christmas time, Grilla is said to come down from her mountain and seek out naughty children. She gathers them up in a sack and carries them back to her mountain in order to make them into a stew. While the Befana is often a kind-looking witch, Grilla is a truly hideous-looking one, with horns on her head, many tails, and a very large wart-covered nose. This is one Christmas-time visitor you don't want to see. Number 4 is one you probably have heard of, Krampus. It's probably the best known of scary Christmas figures. This creature hails from Central European traditions. Though the exact origins are muddled, scholars agree Krampus dates back to a pre-Christian time. The name derives from the German word Krampen, which means claw, an appropriate name given that Krampus is often a demonic-looking figure with claws, horns, and a very long tongue. Like Grilla, the Krampus hauls off naughty children in a sack to use later as food. People celebrate Krampus with festivals before Christmas, dressing up as scary figures as a way to balance the now very sweet traditions of Christmas. Though the festivals can occur through the month, they often begin on Krampus night or Krampenschnacht, which in some European countries is the night before the feast of St. Nicholas on December 6th. The Krampus is the yin to St. Nick's yang. Jeremy Sagers, organizer of the first Krampenschnacht festival in Orlando, Florida, told Smithsonian Magazine in 2015, "You have the saint, you have the devil. It taps into a subconscious macabre desire that a lot of people have that is the opposite of the saccharine Christmas a lot of us grew up with." Number 5 is the Yule Cat. Known as the Jóla Kötturinn in its native Iceland, the Yule Cat is a very fashion-conscious Christmas monster. This not-so-festive feline towers over houses, peeking in to see if children have gotten new clothes since last Christmas or for the holiday this year. If they did, it was safe and the cat would move on to the next house. If not, the child would be gobbled up, provided Grilla didn't get there first, we suppose. So the next time you're bummed about getting socks for Christmas, just think that they help to protect you from the Yule Cat.